Okay, hey there, Maisa. I hope I
Hey.
pronounced your name
Hi.
correctly. Um,
Yes,
so nice to see you. I'm so happy that you are going to answer a few of the questions I have for you. Before we get started, you want to introduce yourself real quick? Just who you are, name, what you're doing, that kind of thing.
sure. So my name is Maisa Sanders. I live in Livermore, California, and I work in banking. I've been banking for many years, and I'm on my third year of the MAcc program.
Okay, and my name is Sonia Pippin. I'm the director of the MAcc program, actually both the online and the live program, but this is about our online Master of Accountancy program. Okay, so yeah, you actually already answered my first question, but let's go back to that. So you're currently a student in the online program at UNR. How far along are you? So, and when did you start?
Yes, so I started in the fall of 2021. So now I'm on my third and final year. I initially started taking one class at a time because I wanted to adjust to the new schedule, the new routine, and I'm glad I did because I'm working full time and have two kids. But this is my third and final year.
Okay, oh, that's awesome. So you're going to graduate this year. Do you know when?
Yes, I'll be graduating this summer.
Yay, awesome. That's good. That's cool, right? So you have to end inside. What
Yeah.
made you choose this program? How do you choose this program?
Sure. Well, besides, loving accounting, I chose the program because I knew that it would provide me valuable knowledge and skills for my professional life. As I mentioned before, I've been banking for several years and most of that time in the commercial department. And as we all know, banks rely heavily on data analysis, to assess risk and make informed decisions. So all the knowledge that I've been gaining through this accounting program is highly relevant.
Cool. So which courses have you taken so far and which courses are you taking right now?
Okay. I've taken 11 classes so far, and I'm currently taking two more. So it's been a long journey. I started with the background track because I did not have my undergrad in accounting. So that's why I've been taking more classes than the standard, I believe, the standard MAcc program. So I've taken intermediate accounting, advanced federal taxation, auditing, taxation of corporations. I'm currently taking business analysis methods and data transformation in SQL.
Oh, so you're taking those two information systems classes right now. How's that
Correct.
going? How is that going?
Ah, it's different. SQL is definitely a foreign language to me.
Hmm.
I'm enjoying the class because the format is excellent with the professor, but it's completely different than everything that I've ever studied in my life.
Yeah. Yeah, we put those in there because there's been so much demand for, and I think you had a question about that too, about the data analytics and accounting. So we figured it would be helpful, even though it's different from the traditional accounting topics. Um,
For sure.
yeah. So what surprised you about being a student in the online program, in our online MAcc program? Any big surprises there? Anything you didn't expect?
Oh, sure. I was really surprised by the level of interaction with professors and students in the program. I think there's a huge misconception that online program is very solitary, that you're in your own world and you don't interact with others as much. But my experience has been completely different.
Mm.
So we have some classes that have weekly discussions, some others have live virtual classes. We do have projects that we have to collaborate with other students. The professors are very approachable. So many times if you need a one-on-one with the professors, you can just schedule a Zoom meeting with them and they can, provide you that support. For instance, this semester, for example, has been very interactive. We have weekly group assignments, and I got to meet with the other students on a regular basis. So this was a big surprise to me, and I think something that other people may think it doesn't happen in an online program because we're not face to face.
Yeah,
So I do interact a lot
yeah,
with
I
other
tell that
students.
students too, but they don't really believe it until they're actually in the program. Yeah. So speaking of that, do you have any advice for students who are interested or starting the program now? Anything particular you want to tell them?
Sure. The online learning requires a a huge level of self-motivation, right? Because we don't have that traditional classroom settings, the face-to-face interaction. So we need to take responsibility for our own learning and keep motivated to stay on track with all the assignments. And I know that everyone is different, but for me, it works really well to be extremely organized and manage the time very well because the workload is heavy. So if you're not organized, it's really easy to fall behind because you have weekly assignments and you have to stay on track on that. So I would say be engaged and participate in virtual meetings with other students, professors, just because they help also with the support. Try to meet the professors and students as much as you can. I know the university sometimes they have they offer events for the students. Try to attend those if you can. I've met some of my former professors in those events, and sometimes, you know, if I have a question about my work, I email them. So it's kind of nice to have that communication still. So I would say be connected with other students and just stay motivated and look for support.
Yeah, good advice. So my last question is, and I'm going to tell you mine too. So what's been your favorite topic so far? Because I have a very strange favorite accounting topic. So I'm going to tell you mine, but you tell me yours first.
Okay. Oh, I absolutely loved auditing. I know I will never forget the workload for that class. It was intense. We had several assignments, and the weekly ones were two big, long discussions. And she expected us to write, write extensively. But the professor was excellent, and she always expanded the discussion to cover the topics that other students had not brought up, and made it really, really interesting because we were covering, you know, fraud cases. We were covering some of audits that failed. And it was very interesting class. So it was by far my favorite, and by far the one that had the most amount of work.
So I'm weird. My favorite topic that like I teach and like to deal with is the income tax provision, so deferred taxes. And I know
I like taxation too. I did enjoy federal taxation too. Yeah,
yeah.
but yours is very specific.
Yes, I know. And most students don't like the fact that I like it because I spend a lot of time on it, and they are like,
Mhm.
can we just move on? I'm like, no, this is fun. Okay, that's all the questions I had for you, but do you have any questions for me?
Sure. So one question that that I have for you is, since you're the director of both the in-person and the online program, the MAcc program. So I know that there's a huge misconception that the online program is easy because you're not going to a classroom, and I completely disagree with that. So can you just provide some of the information about the main differences between the online MAcc program and the in-person program, and the differences then in the syllabus or in the curriculum?
Yeah. So I think you're right. I actually really don't think it's easier. It I think it's probably harder because you already mentioned that you have to be very self-motivated.
Mhm.
Because you don't have those fixed classroom times when you have to be there at a certain time in the week. So, but you have due dates. You still have due dates. You still have things to do. You can't just wait until the end of the semester and then get everything done. And so it's not, people always, or not always, but many people think that online means self-paced, and it's not. It's not self-paced. You still have, like, you have to, like, the weekly readings and due dates and discussions and whatever your class requires, but there is not that much oversight than there is in a live classroom. So I think it's harder. The asynchronous part, I think, is really, really beneficial for people like you who have like a
Mhm.
big other thing, like are professionals. You already have a job, you have a family. You can't, and even if you're local, I mean, if you're local and you're like, let's say you're already going on audits and stuff, you can't really be in the classroom. Even if it's an evening class, you can't be in a classroom every week. So the big difference, I think, is that asynchronous part. It's that you basically can work on the assignments when it's convenient for you, but it's not self-paced. You still have to get the work done in time. So that's where people get kind of confused.
Correct.
So yeah, and then I think also that what people believe is that there's not that much, and you already mentioned that too, the interaction part. We have learned the last few years, especially, and I think COVID has accelerated that too, that we can really interact with our students. And so, for example, in my online classes that I teach, I make them do presentations, but just to me. I have like little group presentations where they present to me. So it's a little less scary because people don't like to present to the whole class. But I still get to interact with the students. They come in group, we have like little discussions, they present to me, and we talk about company performance and stuff like that. So yeah, there is still an interaction there. It's just not the same like the interaction in the classroom, but like these Zoom sessions, one-on-one or in little groups, I think they're really helpful.
Agree.
Yeah. So that's kind of the big differences are that you're not going to go to campus once a week, but you still have the entire material. Everything is still on there. Yeah, it's not like you leave things out just because it's online.
And the flexibility, I've taken school in many different vacations. So as I travel for vacation,